Let's face it, it's almost impossible to discuss high-performance electric hypercars without mentioning Rimac, the Croatian company that blew everyone away with the Rimac Concept 1, a two-seat, super sexy sports car powered by quad-electric motors and producing a total output of 913 kilowatts. The Rimac 1, of which just 88 examples were made at a cost of just under $1 million each, was blisteringly fast as well, reaching 60 miles per hour in 2.6 seconds and going on to an electronically limited top speed of 221 miles per hour. Following on came the Rimac S, a 1.38 megawatt electric car that was even faster than the Rimac 1. And more recently, the Rimac C2, a car with gull-wing doors, 1.427 megawatts of power, and a limited production run of 150 units. Put simply, Rimac knows how to make very fast electric cars. Very fast, fantastic-looking electric cars, which is probably why it's recently entered into several partnerships with other automakers, including providing the drivetrain and battery pack for the Pininfarina Battista hypercar. Now we can add Hyundai Kia to that list, with the news that the two Korean sibling automakers are investing around $90 million into Rimac. Hyundai will be providing a lion's share of that funding, about $72 million worth, while Kia will be providing the rest. The reason for the partnership? To develop, quote, an electric version of Hyundai Motors' N-brand midship sports car concept. While specifics weren't given in Hyundai's press release, most are expecting that vehicle to relate to the RM16N concept, a car that's been in testing already, presumably in gasoline form, and which would be absolutely stunning as an electric model. Rimac is no stranger either to shoehorning ridiculous amounts of power into other people's cars. In fact, the company started after its founder turned his 3 Series BMW sedan, a car which had blown its engine, into the Green Monster, a crazy tyre-shredding beast with 442 kilowatts of power, 0 to 60 miles per hour sprint time of 3.2 seconds, and a top speed of 174 miles per hour. In addition to what I suspect will be a high-end sports car that will function as a halo model for Hyundai, which I also expect will end up being made in a race-only version, in addition to a street-legal model, Hyundai Kia says Rimac will also help them build a, quote, high-performance fuel cell electric vehicle. That could reference the Hyundai N 2025 Vision Gran Turismo. It was a concept that was envisaged for Gran Turismo Sport on PlayStation 4 and featured a hydrogen fuel cell drivetrain system with supercapacitors to recapture energy under heavy braking. While most people watching this channel prefer battery electric over hydrogen fuel cell, the news that these three companies will work together on such a vehicle is quite an interesting one, as there are some significant challenges facing a hydrogen fuel cell performance vehicle at the current time. First, fuel cell cars haven't always been known for high power outputs thanks to size and cooling restraints for the hydrogen fuel cell stacks inside them. While production hydrogen fuel cell cars we've seen so far have fairly modest power outputs, which by the way is fine for daily driving, it is possible to produce more powerful hydrogen fuel cell stacks than we've seen to date. The challenge, however, is one of cooling. Hydrogen fuel cell stacks, like internal combustion engines, need a lot of it. And the larger the fuel cell stack, the higher the power output, but also the larger the cooling requirements are. There are several different ways you can provide cooling: airflow, water recirculation, or coolant pumping. But as the demands on the fuel cell increases, or rather, the required power output increases, the more important cooling is. One way around this could be for Hyundai Kia to pair a hydrogen fuel cell stack with Rimac's battery and drivetrain technology, allowing the hydrogen fuel cell stack to generate electricity at a constant rate, but then use the battery pack as a buffer for the drivetrain. In that way, the battery pack would take the strain of high acceleration and regenerative braking demands, while the fuel cell stack would provide a more constant power output to keep the battery's state of charge at an appropriate level. At the moment, the Hyundai Nexo, which is Hyundai's current fuel cell production vehicle, produces a total of about 135 kilowatts from its drivetrain, with the fuel cell stack contributing 95 kilowatts of that power and the battery pack adding in an additional 40 kilowatts if needed. If we were to scale that up for a suitably powerful race car and assume that the battery pack could lend a more equitable hand in peak power demand periods, then a high-powered hydrogen fuel cell sports car is certainly feasible. What do you expect Rimac and Hyundai Kia to produce though? Will the resulting vehicles be show cars, race vehicles, or cars you will be able to buy? And what will the costs of those vehicles be? Let me know below. That's it. Thanks for watching. Let us know if you liked it or you didn't like it below. Scribble a comment, hit the notification bell so you don't miss out on a single episode, and support us by making a donation through Patreon, sending us some Ko-fi, or by grabbing one of our t-shirt designs from our swag shop. I'll be back soon with another episode, but until then, keep evolving.